Good evening.
And welcome to CJNO News.
I'm Catherine Bent.
And I'm James Hooper. The top stories tonight.
Selective breeding in animals.
Selective breeding in plants.
Fertilisers.
Microorganisms.
Pesticides.
Man U beat Arsenal 7-0.
And a man who thinks he's a T-Rex escapes from Azkaban.
Our first story tonight is selective breeding in animals. This is when a desired characteristic is chosen and two animals are bred together so that the offspring may have this desired characteristic. We now go to our reporter in the field, Zach Gray. Zach?
Well, I hope you're safe at home back in the studio, because I am in Iran, where, as you can probably hear, the gunshots are flying overhead. But don't worry, I have been granted access to the secret Iranian farm where they are breeding, as the locals have coined them, war cows. Now, these war cows have been selectively bred with the exploding bullfrog of the Amazon rainforest. And, well, even the slightest touch can trigger an explosion. Now, some people disagree with this because it is unethical, but there is also the argument of the cows don't really feel the pain because they explode instantaneously.
Well, we seem to have lost Zach there. We'll try and get back to him as soon as possible.
Okay, selective breeding in plants. A plant breeder may breed a high-yielding variety susceptible to a fungal disease with a low-yielding variety resistant to the disease by transferring pollen. Seed is collected and sown in the next growing season. The offspring are tested, and if they are disease resistant, they are crossed with the high-yielding variety to maximise the contribution of that variety. This may continue for up to 10 years.
And now to our next report on fertilisers. Back to the field with Nimi.
Thank you, James. I'm here in a field in Hertfordshire which has been heavily over-fertilised by this granular triple superphosphate, potassium chloride, urea and hydrous ammonia. Now this is a problem here because if the fertiliser gets into the water system, say a pond, it could cause an unnatural phenomenon called eutrophication. Now this is where an algae bloom starts because of the fertilisers and grows and grows and covers most of the pond. It takes all of the oxygen away from the pond. This causes the fish and the plants to die. And this just destroys the pond's ecosystem. And that is why this over-fertilisation is not good for the environment. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Nimi. Now, on to our last report on pesticides with Matthew Knight.
Thank you again. Now, here we have a stark reminder of the dramatic effects that pesticides can have on the environment. This young boy who's taking this banana from the banana tree has deceased. Now, the pesticide which this tree has been sprayed with is called acetyl-phosphoamido-thioate, and it has been heavily oversprayed by the farmers here. Now, although there is a lot of debate whether pesticides are good for the world, as they can greatly increase crop yield, this is an obvious reminder of the terrible things they can do if they are improperly used. Thank you again.
Thank you, Matthew. Now that's all the news we have for you tonight. Good night. Oh look, a war cow.